Prior to me being on the team, which was August of 2020, I was able to close 4 properties on my own, which I think that mindset served me well to be able to be in a position to be on the team. And so I've been on the team since August of 2020, a little bit over a year now. And honestly, it's just been, for me, like a perfect partnership that, I hope to continue to take into the future, because it has really helped out my business, not only on that aspect, but also on a personal level. My name is Ruben Helo. I was born in Los Angeles, grew up in North Denver, moved to South Denver when I was about 6 or 7, and grew up in South Denver, went to school in South Denver, went to Abraham Lincoln High School, and then went to UNC Greeley for school. Prior to me being in real estate, I was trying to figure myself out as far as like what I wanted to do career-wise. And it wasn't until I finished barber school a couple years ago, I picked up the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that just kind of gave me perspective and an avenue about what real estate can do for me in my life and how I can also utilize real estate to help other people as well. I think there's a couple of reasons why I was kind of bouncing around. So essentially, I'm a communications major as well, so it kind of suited me well as far as sales. So I found that I really like sales in terms of meeting goals and just how competitive it is and how competitive I am. That's my background, but the problem I really wanted to address while I was at those types of jobs was the fact that I was working in a corporate setting, and that just never sat well with me as a person, knowing how I am. I always just like working at those jobs, I was always like, man, I'm really just making somebody else wealthy right now. I'm really just, working for them. And I was just always the type of person that wanted to work for myself. Not only does real estate give me different avenues to help people, but it also gives me the opportunity to work for myself and create my own business by utilizing those different avenues as well. And just, helping other people achieve their goals. So it's kind of like it all plays together, and it's kind of like the cherry on top. I felt like working for somebody else was there was a ceiling as far as like my creativity or just me being able to develop myself in different areas. Yeah, I just feel like there was there was a control factor that mentally was just kind of inhibiting me from exploring different things and growing in different areas.
What did you realize you needed to correct in order to fix it, in order to kind of not have that ceiling?
Well, I just knew that, so I started my clothing line before I got into real estate. So I always knew that I had to create something for myself. So that's always been the goal. And like I said, going into real estate kind of gave me that avenue. Being able to team up with you, who I feel like has the same type of vision and personality and just the same values and goals, just made it even better for me. I truly believe that in businesses, who you partner with, that's really important as well, and that helps you elevate to the next level. I was really, growing up, I was really in the thought process of like, oh, I have to do it myself. Oh, I can't trust other people, or just what have you, whatever kind of story that we kind of grow up with, especially sometimes, unfortunately, in the neighborhood that we grow up or where we're from, that's a common theme. But thankfully, I've been able to just kind of mature in that area and realize that, other people really are looking out for my best interest, just how I am trying to contribute to other people's success as well. So I think that, having smart partnerships and just people around you that are gonna help you grow is super important.
Where were you at before and where are you at now compared?
So it's funny that you asked that, because just over the weekend, I was kind of reflecting into my journey, how it's been with me going into real estate. My first full year in real estate just so happened to be 2020, which was a global pandemic. That started in March, and I went full-time in January, and I just didn't allow that to stop me. I just kind of utilized that as an opportunity for me to continue to build my business. It's a business that is not easy by any means, and so adding a pandemic on top of it just kind of slowed things up a little bit. But I think that it was really a testament to my character and how I am as a person. I like to persevere and push through and just find a way. And so luckily, prior to me being on the team, which was August of 2020, I was able to close 4 properties on my own, which I think that mindset served me well to be able to be in a position to be on the team. And so I've been on the team since August of 2020, a little bit over a year now. And honestly, it's just been, for me, like a perfect partnership that, you know, I hope to continue to take into the future, because it has really helped out my business, not only on that aspect, but also on a personal level, as far as just different things and skills that I'm able to work on while being on the team.
Tell me, what has business looked like within the last year of being on the team from that perspective? And then I also want to get into some of the personal aspects. How has it helped you out personally, being around a team rather than being solo?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's super important. So for me being on the team, I've been able to close like around 20 deals in, I don't know, like a little bit over a year. So that's insane, right?
Congratulations, by the way, because that's a huge achievement. That's awesome.
Thank you.
There's people in the industry who've been doing this for 20 years that haven't done that, so that's
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing, and obviously I can't do it by myself, right? So I've been able to accomplish some financial goals as well that I've always had. You know, break through some ceilings as far as like how much money I've made in a year, which is also something that, you know, was important to me. But, you know, aside from that, also just being, in comparison to being a solo agent, I'm able to really just explore, go deeper into my, you know, spiritual life and my mindset and just habits that I've been able to replace with just being on the team because of the type of culture that we have. And so for me, that's just a value that you can't really get anywhere else. And that's something that's invaluable, you know, because if you're able to be in business with somebody, obviously it's going to be about business, but whenever you're able to benefit from personal and spiritual and connections and friendships, I think that just takes it to a whole nother level. My biggest takeaway, I think that there's a lot of takeaways. I think that, you know, if you continue to work on what you want, you know, and it's coming from a good place, you'll end up attracting the people that are meant for you in your life. And you also end up putting yourself in that position as well, you know? So I think that that's my biggest takeaway. My other takeaway is whatever you do prior to your opportunity matters. Like, it's about your reputation sometimes, you know what I mean? And how you handle yourself around people. Because essentially the reason why I feel like I got this opportunity was because your cousin coached me in high school, and he was able to see like my character then and how hard I work and how I carried myself, you know? And so I feel like whatever you do before that opportunity, it really, really does matter. So there's a lot of takeaways. I could keep going, but those are some of the bigger takeaways.